automotive journalism. You know, like I don't even know how I would get my foot in the door with that, to be honest. And I know stuff. I'm no genius, but I know stuff, and I'm good at talking, and I don't want to sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but I feel like I'm charismatic, or at least entertaining or funny, so that I can talk about something and also make it enjoyable and not just like a college lecture that you're taking just because you need the credits to move on with your life. I could make it feel like a class that you're actually interested in, I hope. Obviously there is an appeal to those super technical videos, but I'm gonna leave that to Engineering Explained. Because I'm part of his audience, you know, the people that don't have all the answers, so I go to him for the answers. When it comes to automotive journalism, what I would want to do is review the cars, talk about them, but mostly focus on tuning culture. That's what I would want to focus on, or GT racing and things like that. I most certainly don't want to go around reviewing Vauxhall Corsas and things like that. Like what I would like to do is actually something kind of similar to that dude in blue, or the smoking tire, I guess. A mix of both. Is have very cinematic like reviews of cars owned by ordinary people that have spent a long amount of time or a short amount of time saving up for this. Is that an Evo? Oh, that's cool. I like the Evo 10, by the way. That's one of my favorite cars. But anyways, what I would want to do is have review videos. It can be a modified car, a stock car, it can be anything, you know. It would be something where, like, is the person willing to let me drive the car or not? If not, they can drive and I can sit in the passenger seat. We can talk about the car. We can talk about their story of how they got it. You know, it's one thing to talk about a car and be like, oh, the Nissan Skyline has the RB26. You know, the Tesla all-wheel drive system is cool. Technology, blah, 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 and this and that. That's very interesting. I also had a video, kind of a lot like that, actually, with talking about importing R34 GTRs into the US. So, you know, those videos can be very cool. That was a very niche topic, though, so that video is very slowly getting popular. I think it's a little bit past 2.3, 2.4 thousand views, definitely above 2,000. But for the rest of the world, people just want to see those entertaining, funny, and cool videos. You know, like, ooh, this person is driving a turbocharged Honda S2000. What's the owner like? What's the car like? What does it make it feel like? Have entertaining conversation. You know, because I've found that it's very rare. Oftentimes, it's very rare to have real conversation with people. Real conversation feels special, which is unfortunate, because I feel like if you just sat down and just started talking about things, interpreting them, sharing your own understandings of things, and just discussing stuff, and just kind of be like, oh yeah, that, like, totally, I agree, and blah blah blah, and this and that. That's human connection literally just happening, and I feel like people like to be a part of that or witness it, because if they agree with anything that the things are saying, or they feel like they have something to say, they can comment it in the video, and then I would respond, obviously, and we would continue the conversation there. There's just a whole lot. There's so many ways you could take it, so I feel like that would be really cool as well. The only trouble is finding the cars to review, and that's the tricky part. Because for one thing, my channel is very, very small. As of me recording this video, I only have 35 subscribers. I mean, one way I could boost that is by doing a very cool video. The importation thing with the R34 GTR was certainly a good start. It was no crazy hit, but it's definitely useful for the car community at the very least, especially in American import culture, because not everyone has the right information. So I decided to just bring it all together and you know, present that to help people. But it didn't kick off the channel in any way. But I like seeing comments on that video and interacting with people, and it's very cool. However, I still need to find that video that really kicks off the channel and gives me a better platform to expand and make more videos and reach out to people and entertain you guys. So like, one thing I could do is find a neat car somehow, do a video on it, really pour my heart and soul into creating a quality product, and hopefully that helps. But the tricky thing is, oh, that's a nice looking Mustang. The tricky thing with that is that I need to find an interesting car that I can either drive or ride along in with the owner or whatever. And the R32 Skyline GTR at Gateway Classics keeps popping into my head, but I don't know if it's possible to actually do test drives in those cars, because that's an exotic car showroom, and it's not like a dealership where you can do the test drives. I don't think it is. One day I can go in there and ask, but as far as I can tell, the best I could do is go in there with a camera and just talk about the car and have voiceover and blah blah blah. And if I made that video any longer than 5 minutes, it would feel like spreading too little butter. It would feel like spreading too little butter over too much bread, as Bilbo Baggins has said. Hey, that rhymes.
Butter scraped over too much bread.
Too little butter over too much bread, as Bilbo Baggins said. And that's just not good, because when you do that with a video, it brings down the quality and makes it exhausting to watch. And I don't want that. I mean, hopefully I can figure something out. If I can do something with the R32 Skyline GTR, though, even if I can't drive it, or at least ride along in it, or sit in it, or something, that would be great. Even if it doesn't help with kicking off the channel, it would still be cool to make a video like that, because it also gives me experience and gives me, you know, maybe more credibility, or at least appear to have more credibility in the car culture community. Oh, and that can help with, you know, expanding. All right, let's get out of here. Why must it be so bumpy?
Turn left onto Alienware Drive.
That's the first time I've heard her pronounce anything correctly. Anything unusual correctly. I would not have expected her to say Illini anywhere close to the way it's actually pronounced. I would have expected her to say Illini or Illini or some crap. I mean, we had this GPS in the Netherlands, so hearing her try to pronounce a Dutch street name is even better. Ooh, that's a nice Mercedes. Scheveningen. I'm trying to remember Dutch street names. What was one of them? I can't remember any of them. Oh, that's annoying, because it was really funny to listen to her try, and I would do a good job at mimicking her.
In a world of fitness, people come and pay money to use a treadmill that isn't theirs. That world is Planet Fitness. I personally prefer having like your own in-house gym or in-home gym with like a treadmill and a few weights and a yoga mat to do sit-ups on. So as you guys know, I work at a grocery store. I work at Schnucks as a bagger, and I'm gonna, just for the heck of it, I'm not really complaining. I'm just sharing just for kind of fun. So what are my pet peeves so far? Like, what are any things I don't like about the job? Because I mostly just really enjoy the job. It's a lot of fun. Well, what are my pet peeves as being a grocery bagger? Well, when I'm bagging people's groceries, it can be really annoying when the bags get stuck together. I don't know if it's we or kind of mostly just me, but I describe it as a bag trying to get away with a cape, because that's what it looks like, more or less. Sometimes I'll be putting stuff into a grocery bag, and I'll think it's the bag that's at the front of the stack when it's actually the one just behind that, and so I'll pull it off, and two bags will come off, the front being empty and the one after that actually having all the stuff in it, which is weird and feels almost paradoxical. Another one, while it's not as annoying, because you don't feel any pressure, is when people literally, for some reason, can't get the shopping cart to the rack, or whatever it's called, the place where you actually are supposed to put them, Because the wonderful thing about our parking lot is that it's on a slope. So if you leave the shopping cart in the middle of nowhere and it rolls and hits a person's car, that's not good. And you're also a jerk and lazy and kind of dumb, to be honest. I mean, if you're like old or have a disability, then fine. But if you're incapable of moving a cart to the rack, ask someone to help you bring your groceries out, because we do that too, and that's fine. We're paid to do that. It's not any more exhausting or taxing than moving the carts back into the store, carrying someone's groceries. Like, just tell us you need help so you don't leave your cart in the middle of the parking lot and put people and cars at risk, because damaging both would be expensive and annoying.